My parents gave me a guitar for Christmas when I was 11, and I immediately got very interested in it. And about 3 months later, I told my parents that, I wanted to, that's what I wanted to do for, my career. I wanted to be a guitarist. So they just sort of looked at me. I don't know if they believed me or not, but they didn't try to discourage me. They just said, "Oh, that's nice, honey," So I listened a lot to Wes Montgomery. So for guitar, he's number one. Kenny Burrell's an influence, and we did actually one of Kenny Burrell's tunes on this record called Chitlins Con Carne. I love Coltrane and Monk, Charlie Parker and Charles Mingus, and just all the jazz greats, not necessarily only guitarists. For this particular album, we did things mostly that we had been doing at the club, and we selected those songs because we liked them and we thought the audience would like them. And this room that we play in is it's not a strictly listening room. It's not like a Vanguard or somewhere where they have a quiet policy. So you have to a little bit win the crowd over every night. And I'm not talking about, selling out or playing something totally commercial that we're not into. I'm talking about playing great music that we love, that draws people into what we're doing. And Chip is just such a creative player. He's just creative and just wild, and he can just do anything. And he has just I think his mind works very quickly. So he'll play these just amazing ideas just off the top of his head. And during the recording session, listening to the playback, I commented to him about something he had done, and he said, "Oh yeah, I never played that before. I just made it up right then." And it was very, like a real whole reharmonization of this song we were doing. And he just does things like that on the spot, but it's very freely and very naturally. With jazz and improvisational music, it's not that every note is going to be the same every night. There's a lot of things that happen, a lot of interaction with the other players. So it's a lot of surprise involved. And Greg he has a fantastic groove and a fantastic swing feel. And he's just a great drummer. Music is very intricate, a lot of time changes, a lot of odd meters. And Greg mastered that music in a very short amount of time. And I was very impressed with that, and I asked him how he did that. And he said that he's just very good at staying loose and ready to go wherever the music went, that he could respond very quickly to what was happening and not miss a beat. And I'm not describing it exactly the way he told me, but it was something to that effect, where he's flexible enough to be really, really grooving and at the same time open to whatever changes might occur, whatever time signature changes might happen. He's just right there. And so some of the time I thought he knew the arrangement perfectly, and some of the time he's just so great at catching things that you just would never know that he was just responding to what was going on rather than knowing exactly what was going to happen. Mostly I'm feeling a lot of excitement, sometimes a little bit of sometimes there's a little bit of pressure to be able to respond to what's going on around you in an open way. I can't exactly explain what it is, but there's some sort of a combination of thinking and instinct. Like that place that athletes talk about, to being in the zone. And when that happens with music, which it happens frequently, you're able to be flexible enough, open enough to what's going on, to be able to respond to it and contribute to it and make things happen that other players respond to. I'd like to play some festivals, play some jazz clubs, get some exposure for this group. Just try to enjoy it and let it happen without too much stress.